Good afternoon. Are you Cassandra Stratton?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm Judge Middleton. I'm filling in for the magistrate. We're trying to cover some things. Judge Patterson's doing a couple things. I am as well. I'm waiting for the public defender to get here. Here she is now. This is Miss Matea Paycheck from the public defender's office, and you are Cassandra Jean Stratton.
Yes, Your Honor.
Weekend charging document alleges that on or about July 28th, you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Justin Holbrook.
Assault? I didn't assault anyone.
Well, of the Three Rivers Police, that's just the way the statute is read. Did assault, batter, wound, resist, oppose, obstruct, or endanger Justin Holbrook. It is a felony punishable by up to 2 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $2,000. The bond information report that accompanies this says they were attempting to serve a pickup order or warrant on your son, and they were chasing you guys on bicycles, and he took off. And you have another case, which I had written down. Let me get it again. Which is file 2332372. And that was harboring a runaway, and you owe $200 by June 20th or 3 days, $325 by June 20th or 3 days jail. You didn't pay it, but you did come in on July 12th and start a payment plan. And you made a payment of $50. So you have a payment plan on that case. The magistrate set the bond in this case in the amount of $50,000.
Holy crap.
Yes.
I didn't know that. Ooh, it's a lot.
I can't tell from this document that accompanies this whether they actually were able to take your son into custody. He took off. Do you know whether he was ever apprehended by the police?
I don't know. That's not really what happened though. I wasn't even with my son. My son was behind me with another chick. And I had to cross the road. And when I looked over that he had my son stopped in a drive, I didn't even know he was behind me. And then the cop, I see my son take off.
All right, well, let's slow down a minute. They had a Cassopolis address, but they also indicated that you may be homeless right now. Do you have an address?
I'm homeless in St. Joe County. I use my mom and dad's address for my mail.
All right, where do you actually stay?
I'm homeless. I stay in Three Rivers here at different places.
Okay. Anyway, they had this struggle. I attempted to detain Stratton in handcuffs for fleeing with Heath. When I attempted to contact her, she was detained due to her contributing to his delinquency by harboring him in my presence. She pulled away using her body weight, turning her body weight, and attempting to flee on foot. She was placed in an arm bar and taken to the ground. She was handcuffed and arrested. That was 2 days ago.
Yeah, but he said that I wasn't even under arrest. Like when he had my hand, he said I wasn't even under arrest. He just wanted to talk to me. when I looked over to see if my son made it across the road, because I seen him dart. I mean, he was going fast. All I was trying to do was look to see if my son was made it across the road and get hit by a car because there was cars coming. That's all that happened. And then he told me I was under arrest for resisting and obstructing a police officer. At the beginning, he told me, he asked me where the meth was. He said, "Where's the meth at? You've been known to have meth all the time on you. We find it on you." And I'm like, "No, you don't. I've had meth on me one time and admitted to you. You were my judge."
Yes. Well, they didn't seize any methamphetamine as far as I can tell.
You're right, because I don't do meth no more.
Well, let me ask a couple of questions. Can you post any sort of bond?
No, I have no money. I have nothing.
And you have nowhere to go.
I would like to go to the homeless shelter here in Centerville, where I'd like to go. I keep asking
What?
to get there.
Why haven't you gone there before?
Because it's a long bike ride.
That's not a very good reason.
It is a very long bike ride. It's like 16 miles or something.
No, it's not. It's about 8.
Oh, I didn't
And,
know. I just knew it was a mile.
All right. Well, the magistrate set the bond in the amount of $5,000 cash or surety. Sort of doesn't matter. If I set it in the amount of $2, you don't have any money to post it. But I'm going to I'm going to show a plea of not guilty. And I'm going to set a pre-exam conference for August 15th at 8:30 a.m. I'm going to set a preliminary examination if needed for August 22nd at 1 o'clock. I'm going to appoint, I believe, Attorney Ross Truckee is on duty that week. And I'm going to leave the bond as set by the magistrate at 5,000 cash or surety. That bond can certainly be reviewed and amended and reduced, but I don't want to just do a bond where you're standing on the front steps of the jail with no place to go. And you're right, you had some struggles with methamphetamine in the past. And I can't tell what's going on. Your son, they believe that you're shielding him from his arrest, and they charge you with harboring in this other case that you owe money on. The good news is, as long as you're in jail, we might as well at some point wipe out that money you owe me in the other case.
So how many days is that? Can you tell me
You've already
that?
been in jail. All right, let's take care of that case while we're here.
Thank you.
You got arrested on the 28th, which is yesterday.
Yes.
No, today's the 31st. What day did you get arrested? Saturday night?
Friday.
Friday. All right, we're gonna wipe that one out. 23372. Three days, credit 3 days, leaving 0 days to serve on, wipe out the fine that you still owe. So that does take care of that.
I also have the one in Cass County that is supposed to be going along with this one here, the one that you're talking about.
I don't have any control over the cat. Do you have a hold for you in Cass County?
No.
I'll check into that.
Thank you.
So you don't know what happened to your son?
I don't know. I didn't even know that he was in town, and then he just popped up out of the blue and came to see me. I didn't have anything to do with him coming here. I guess as far as I knew, he was doing good. He had a job in Michigan City. And then next thing I know, he's here and he's got a broken hand. I don't want anything to do with trying to cover for him, or that's why I told the police. Like when he was over at Roslyn Boards, I told the police that he was over there. I told him exactly where I knew he was. As I had just seen him over there.
They also charge you as habitual offender, making this a third felony offense, which would double the amount. But I'm
What do
not
you
really
mean?
clear. Well, the maximum would be 4 years rather than 2 years.
I
You
don't
charge
understand.
as
I don't understand.
habitual offender,
I
which is
understand.
part why the magistrate set the bond in the amount that they did.
This is the first time I've ever had a RNO. I've never been in
Yes.
trouble for this before.
Well, that's good. I've seen a lot worse than this, but you're in dire straits, ma'am, and you need to get some stability here. So the first thing I did is I wiped out the fine and costs you owed in that harboring case. I gave you 3 days, credit 3 days, and filed 23372 SM. So you don't have to worry about that payment plan you tried to set up. I set your bond in this case in the amount that the magistrate set, which is $5,000 cash or surety. That can be altered or amended if there's some plan of someplace for you to go rather than standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona.
I can go to my mom and dad's.
All right, well, if you could have, you already would have. So let's see if we
No,
can
I
work out.
can go there.
All right, we'll explore that. Attorney Ross Truckee is appointed to represent you. Your next hearing date is August 15th at 8:30. All right,
Okay,
good
so
luck.
am I being charged with habitual though? Because I've never
Yes,
been in
well,
trouble
you
for
haven't
all
been
year
convicted
now.
you haven't been convicted of anything yet. They simply charged it that way. They could reduce it to a misdemeanor. They could do a number of things with it. They could put it in circuit court. But at this point, that's the only charge. And I will see you on August 15th. I don't really know what to do. Ross will get it. And if there is some option to put her somewhere other than there, I guess we can explore it. But I didn't have any better idea than where they set the bond.